My name is Cheryl Juaire. I'm the founder of a nonprofit organization called Team Sharing. We're an organization of parents that have lost our children to substance use disorder. So I lost my son Corey on February 24th, 2011 to an overdose. And for the next 3 years I grieved. And it wasn't until I met someone that I knew how important it was that we connect. And from that I just started a small group on Facebook, and it's grown into, in Massachusetts, over 900 members. We have over 4,000 members in our national group. I became aware of the opioid crisis when first my Attorney General at the time filed a complaint against the Sackler family
for their role in creating and profiting from this epidemic that has killed so many.
And it made me put two and two together, because I heard story after story after story about how this mom lost her child who had gone in for wisdom teeth extraction and was given an opioid for pain medicine, and a year later he died. Or a sports injury, or any kind of medical, and not understanding why. And it was when I read the complaint that I understood. I got it.
Some patients may be afraid of taking opioids because they're perceived as too strong or addictive. But that is far from actual fact. Less than 1% of patients taking opioids actually become addicted.
They marketed the drug. They marketed it as safe. 10 milligrams wasn't enough, then you needed 20. If you started getting the shakes, well, it's because you weren't taking enough. Then you needed 40. Then you needed 80. And they pushed it and they marketed it, and they gave gifts to all the people that were working for them, that were out marketing the drug. So many people knew what was going on and didn't do anything about it. I organized a march, August of 2018, and we had over 400 parents show up with pictures of their children, and we pretty much told the Sacklers, we're coming after you. And really, I believe to this day that was the beginning, because it was at that point on that they were in the headlines. Everybody learned. Everybody started to learn about the Sacklers and the Purdue Pharmaceuticals and what took place.
A federal judge is conditionally approving a plan for the maker of the drug OxyContin to dissolve and settle its lawsuits over its role in America's opioid crisis.
And so what they did was they filed bankruptcy, and this is Chapter 11, so it's a reorg. And so what happens is the trustee takes all their assets and essentially pays out the creditors, but they're paid just, a fraction of what they're owed, but at least they get something, is the idea.
We need to do an abatement, and we need to make this money go towards addiction, harm reduction, prevention, education. On June 25th, 2021, I lost my second son while seated on the committee. It just kind of, it made it real to every attorney, the judges. It made it real that this is what Purdue Sacklers, they all knew that my son died, and he died from an overdose, and he was addicted to opioids. They knew. But one of the hardest things I've had to do while sitting on the Unsecured Creditors Committee is because we have done so much advocacy, was I was told that I had a fiduciary duty to not speak on what was going on inside. And that was so hard, because people trusted me. And I had to go back and just say to them, you know what, continue to trust me. Just know that what I'm doing is the right thing.
Prescription addiction intervention.
A lot of the people wanted the Sacklers in jail. We don't care about the money. We just want them. They killed our kids. They deserve to go to jail. And I totally get that. But what we were negotiating was $6 billion that would come into our states to save lives. One day the Sacklers are going to have to stand before the almighty judge. And until that time, we need that money to save lives.
The U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments today in one of the most important corporate bankruptcy cases in decades. The court is weighing whether to approve Purdue Pharma's controversial bankruptcy deal that would give billions of dollars to victims of the opioid epidemic while protecting members of the Sackler family from current and future opioid-related civil lawsuits. Actually,
it was an honor to be invited to the Supreme Court. The gentleman that argued on our side was incredible, and I just, without a shadow of a doubt, I knew that we were going to win.
The Supreme Court has temporarily blocked a bankruptcy plan for drug maker Purdue Pharma, a plan that would have paid out billions of dollars to address the opioid epidemic, but would have also shielded the company's owners, the Sackler family, from legal liability.
I was actually in church when I saw on my phone when the verdict came out, and I just cried. And they knew that every single day we're losing 195 kids every single day. But then the next day I pulled up my bootstrings and I said, okay, we're going to be back at it. Let's go. Let's fight this. Hopefully this is headed towards a final agreement. And it looks like it's going to, if it doesn't go to litigation. So we're hoping we can resolve this in mediation. And the victims might get a little bit more out of it than they did before. So that would be a good thing. But like I said, the end, they're going to have to face the ultimate judge. So I'm kind of counting on that.